What's up, everybody? This is Get to Know. I am glad to have you all here. I really am. It means the world to me when you guys sign in or come onto this channel, support the cause we're doing. Sarah, what's up, sweetheart? How can you hear me today?
Yeah, man.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
So I was just doing my little introduction here. So, yeah, this is Get to Know. I'm glad all you all are here. This channel is focused on getting the laws and the penalties changed when it comes to childhood sexual crimes, any and all of them. I will not sit here and say that I am an advocate for children themselves. That is not what I do. It's not what I'm about. I'm glad that there are advocates out there for children, but that's not my purpose here. My purpose here is to get the laws and penalties when it comes to sex crimes changed, not just in America, but around the world as well. This is the biggest thing facing our world today, and it needs to be addressed. And it's about damn time that someone and some of us stand up and make a change happen. If we stand up to our government and insist that we want to change, they will change it. Why? Because they don't want to lose their motherfucking jobs. We do not talk about other creators here. That is not what this channel is for. We are not about bashing anybody in the chat or verbally when you're on panel. We do not do that here. We do not support that here. If you are here for that reason, you can just get the fuck on and get the fuck out, because that's what we are not about. Whether you like it or not, that's how it is. We do not shy away from saying the words pedophile, pedophilia, sexual abuse, rape, molestation. We tackle these things from a personal point of view, from a verbal perspective. We do not shy away from it. We do not hide it. Yes, it is a grotesque action that people commit all the time, but no, we should not shelter our children from these words, because if they become numb to the word, they will become numb to the action. With that being said, I got two special guests today. We are going to be talking about human trafficking and how it is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry just in the U.S. alone. How many billions? $32 billion a year is estimated to come into and out of America when it comes to human trafficking. It is now the second most profitable criminal industry activity that the United States has. Only fall short by a lot by drug trafficking in and out of the country. So with that being said, Sarah, welcome to the panel. Penelope Pistop, welcome to the panel. I appreciate you both being here. And today we're going to be covering, like I said, a tough subject about human trafficking throughout the world.
There is an estimated 27.6 million currently trafficked victims as of January 2023.
Crazy, ain't it? Crazy.
To what they know.
If anybody can fathom that number of 27.6 million, just that number alone, I don't believe, again, it's an accurate number. These are numbers that I would assume are being reported, but how many are not being reported at this time?
Twice as many, I would say, man.
Quadruple that. I'm telling you, I play it. People are like, oh, you can't just do that. Well, basically, I can do whatever I want. But when it comes to these statistics, nobody will ever know what the exact number is because of those reasons alone. People don't report it. That's the most common one.
And the sad reality of this is many of them are hidden in plain sight. These are people that we see on a daily basis and do not even realize that these are trafficking victims.
Yes, like Sarah was just saying, less than 9%. Less than 9% of these crimes are committed by people that these people know personally in their personal lives. It's not just a random stranger, because honestly, ask yourself, people, how often do you just let your children go run around is strange people that you don't know? I mean, I know some people do, but they probably shouldn't be a parent in the first place. But you just randomly let your kids go around strangers all the time? Come on now, we know we don't do that. So it's no surprise. These crimes are being committed from people inside of the home, parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews. I think I covered it all.
Yeah, they have actually proven a majority of the trafficking.
What's that, Sarah? Sorry.
They've proven a majority of the trafficking.
Go on, Penelope.
Sarah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, hon. Okay.
No,
Exactly
go on,
what
you
Aaron
carry
was
on.
saying is they have proven the majority of the trafficking has started within the family.
Yes.
Always keep
Exactly
your eye
what you were just
people
saying.
at home.
Yep. You're right.
It's never
You're right.
usually a stranger. Rarely is it a stranger.
Yeah. I mean, and yes, it does happen. Yes, it does happen. The percentage that's not the word I was looking for, but it'll work. The percentage that it's going to happen to somebody, the odds that it will happen are 9%, less than 9%. So, I mean, why? Because we just don't let our kids go around random fucking strangers. I mean, it's common sense. But with these numbers that you said 27 million.
Wow.
Yep.
27 million, quadruple that. That's how I do it. If you want to get closer to probably what the actual numbers are, whatever statistic you find when it comes to these childhood sex crimes and human trafficking crimes, quadruple that number. Because there's always those ones that never report it, the ones that get reported and take it to court and beat it, the ones that take it to court and never get convicted of it, or the ones that just never get caught. It's
How can you tell if someone is being human trafficked?
It's not all about sex, though, is it?
No, it's not. It's
all about money.
Yep, it's all about that mighty dollar.
That money.
Yep, it's all about that mighty dollar bill, man. How do you tell somebody? Go ahead.
As a society, we can pay attention to certain things, which we should be doing anyway. And if you have someone that is overly fearful, very submissive or tense, if any of these things sound familiar to anyone that you knew, somebody who you know is giving the wrong information, like the Elizabeth Smart, when she was standing there and the cop came up and asked her what her name was and she denied that was her name, she was not only kidnapped, but there was a sign of trafficking right there.
Oh, yeah.
Certain tattoos, they're actually branding. They're not a regular tattoo. And these tattoos make sure that they know who their owner is. And that's a horrible word, that you have an owner.
Yep.
You are now a person's pet.
Yep. And they're not. These tattoos aren't. A lot of the times these tattoos aren't even hidden. They will basically be in plain sight where you can see them, so other traffickers know that is an owned piece of property.
Very common areas are on the neck, right below the hairline.
Oh, back here?
Exactly. Yep. They're very common right there because this way they can be seen, but they're not that visual to the basic society. So if you see something, and because so many people just have regular tattoos and everything, these are usually distinctive tattoos. Sometimes they'll have a number in them.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
You are getting a number.
Yep. I covered a story, a little bit of a story the other day, and the parasite, I like calling them parasites over pedophiles anyway. So, but these parasites, they
are just sucking.
Yeah. This particular parasite, his tattoo that he had on his 3 pieces of property was a crown with a 3 in it, like a crown sitting on top of the 3. So
they have their markings are very specific, like you were saying, because they usually have something to do with money, sex, or some sort of pimping phrase.
Yeah.
So you are labeled, and other people will know who you belong to.
Yeah.
Because you're not just staying in one area. They're trading you, they're shipping you out to other people, they're selling you off, and you will be rebranded when you are sold to the next trafficker.
Yeah. Yep. Rebranded. What were you saying, Sarah?
Merchandise.
Exactly. And to be honest, not very expensive merchandise. by that.
Exactly. And the one thing that you failed to mention was what we don't want to think about is in our society today, we do a lot of things online. So you have social media sites where you can do online dating, making friends, that type of thing. These people are going through these dating sites. So as you're making friends where you might just think this is a casual acquaintance, this is, just, oh, I'm going to go out on a date with somebody, you may not come home because they know exactly ahead of time who they're targeting when they're lying. It's not just going into Backpage. It could be somebody who's on Craigslist, just, looking for a friend, looking for a caregiver, looking for whatever. Those people are there. Our social workers are traffickers.
Yeah, social workers. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, everybody. Social workers. The key demographic for the people committing this crime are social workers. Why? Because who's going to miss an orphan anyway? What's up, Sunshine Moonbeams? Glad to have you here, sweetheart.
Hi, good to see you. Yeah, this is a really big market for the social workers. And it's the people that you don't expect because they're taking care of these children who are being shuffled from foster homes and being in group homes. And they actually have preset areas that when you hit a certain age, you're not at such and such place. No, you are being sold.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
Absolutely
everyone.
correct.
It's the school photographer. They're going through and they're getting all the pictures of those kids, and they also have the ability to take those and market your child out by whatever picture is taken because they can pick and choose.
Yeah, 100%. Like on average, there's one teacher or assistant principal or assistant or substitute or teacher's aide. One of those every single day in the United States on the minimum is arrested for having inappropriate sex and intercourse and having inappropriate relationships with a student. I was a victim of that. I didn't think I was a victim at the time because, I mean,
But it's
really.
the people that we don't think that are going to hurt our children, innocently. And it can be a man or a woman who you could be a dad of a couple of kids and try to, hook up with somebody, go to one of these dating sites, whatever. That woman that you're meeting could be that person who's not interested in you, but interested in marketing your child.
Exactly.
It's not just a man seeing a woman like that. There's so many more women that for some reason that concept doesn't get across to the public.
Yeah.
Women are aggressors. They slide by in public.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Look at that one major pedophilia guy. I don't even care. Look at that. Look at Epstein. You know what I mean? Look at who his number one go-to person was. A female. Why? Because she can slide right in the front door without anybody fucking seeing her.
That's just it. When you see a nice looking woman and you think, oh, this is great. She's knows the right things to say. She knows the right ways to act. She has that motherly nature with those children, your children.
Yeah.
Well, you're thinking, hey, this is okay. This is great. They get along great. Oh, she's going to take them over to the play center. She's going to take them do this. She's going to take them do that. You're feeling really good. You're going out making like that whole family type thing. She's building your trust and their trust before you would even be able to know she has the power, or him has the power over those children.
Indeed.
Hi, it matters. So
Hello, it
it's
matters.
not, be aware, it's not
Hi,
just
Pam.
men. It's not just men that are out there. It is women. It is, and it's not even just that. And I was just telling Aaron, I read an article how the cartel uses teenage students to find their victims.
Oh yeah, you were just
Your
you were just telling me
classmate.
about. Oh my god, dude! I never even thought about that. And it's holy shit. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so your child is going to school and they're making friends, and they're targeting certain groups of people to give them that secure feeling. Their life is really crummy. They're maybe a latchkey kid. They don't have much when it comes to money or whatever, food. These people will bring these kids will bring them in close. We're best friends, and you're starting to go out and have a good time, and nothing is costing you any money.
Yeah.
And gradually they're grooming your, they could be a drug mule as a starting point, just to build that. Here's money for doing that, because you're under the wire. You're not going to get the jail penalty that an adult is going to get. They don't really want you for that, though. They want that child to be marketed, whether it's sexual exploitation,
Slavery.
whatever devious thing. Yeah, exactly. Whatever devious thing pops in their mind, they are grooming our children in our schools right under our nose.
In plain sight.
Yeah, in plain sight. That's right, sir. Right in front of us. We are so worried about hurting people's feelings, about saying certain words and putting out certain kind of information that we lose the importance of what's really going on, and we're too fucking blind to the bullshit because we don't want to offend somebody or we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or just whatever fucking reason. And what all we're doing is we're creating future victims with our children. That's what we're doing. By shying away from telling it like it is, from shying away from telling it how it goes, what the words are, we are creating future victims. It's inevitable and it's got to stop. What do you think,
And
Sarah?
this is where
I think we've got to forget
this is
about
where an
the
awareness. Sorry.
don't talk to strangers.
Yeah. Don't talk to strangers, for
Okay.
one.
Don't talk to strangers, but your kid is in school and they're in class with these students. They're
But that's what
everyday
you-
students.
That's what you taught when you were a child. Don't talk to strangers. Tain't the strangers you got to worry about.
Right. But see, right. It's not like I think I just understood what you said or misheard what you said. So yeah, it's not the strangers that you got to worry about. I mean, when it comes to like kidnapping shit, yes, you are, and but these are students. These are people that our kids go to school with and look at like friends that get groomed by these other students who were groomed by the main people that do this shit to go in and get them pack mules, and it happens every single day, and it's fucked up. Well, what's up,
The
Sugar
only-
Ladder? Nice to have you here, baby. I love you.
The only reason why we saw a slight decrease was because of the pandemic. They had problems getting people out of the country because the majority of your victims are not going to stay in the area that they are raised in. They want to get them out of there.
Yes.
And they're open about this. They're putting them on Greyhound buses. They're taking them out, with false information that, oh, you're going to be a model, or, oh, I got this great job for you on a farm, or, any one of these things that would make a child realize, hey, I don't have money for college. My parents are struggling. I need to do what I can. And there is that groomer slinking in right behind him going, oh, I know exactly how you can help your family, but we're going to keep it on the down low. Well,
Yep.
that kid is not going to go home and flash cash at his parents. Because what's going to happen? Where are you getting the money from? What are you doing? If the parent even cares.
Right.
But there are signs that we need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
We have to be aware, and not just your child. Your child's friend comes over, brand new clothes, or $100 sneakers, and they're sporting a cell phone that they didn't have last week. Start asking questions.
They're either slinging drugs or there's something else major going on. I mean, and the odds are that they're slinging drugs is probably not that likely. That's just my opinion.
Where they start them. They will start them a lot of times with the minor stuff to build a trust. Can I trust you? Are you going to talk? And if you like this money, I got more. And then they start getting them using. They get them using those drugs so they're more pliable.
Yep.
And turning them gradually against their own family. And sometimes, and this is a very sick part, but if they have a little brother or a little sister, they encourage them to join them when they go and do things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going roller skating. We're going to go bowling. We're going to go to the movies. Yeah, bring your little one. Oh, you got a babysit? It's okay. Just bring your little one. They start that grooming process. And without the older sibling realizing it, they're grooming their younger siblings.
Yep. Without even knowing it.
Yep.
Without even knowing what's going on. It's crazy.
And a lot of times they don't want that older child.
Yeah.
They like from 12 and under. They want that pliable victim. The easy to grasp mentality.
Yep. The younger the child is, the easier it is to manipulate their brain into doing what they want. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Scary.
And it's
what
also,
do you think, Sarah?
What is it like where you're at, Sarah? Is there like a large number of trafficking victims that like you'll hear about? Is it something that's prominent in the community that awareness is being made?
By local groups, government wise, maybe not, but yeah, it's a big problem over here. Big problem. Big problem everywhere.
So here, I'll do this. Let me see.
Sarah, what are they doing to make people aware of it?
Not a lot. Government's not bothered.
So where you're at, is there like a lot of teen centers or outreach programs, shelters, that type of thing? Because those are also very well-known areas where they will go in and start grooming these people for a better life, as they put it.
Well, I suppose it's the same everywhere.
Okay, so in the U.S., it's a $32 billion a year industry, is what they label it as. Okay.
Wow.
In the United Kingdom, what is it? About 100 billion a year in the euro. I'm not sure how much that is, but is that I mean, I know it's a lot, but how close to that is that comparable to the $32 billion in America?
Wow, that's a lot. You shocked me with even saying.
Okay, can you see what that says on there, Sarah?
I can't, to be fair.
You can't see that on my screen?
Can't you read it to me?
Well, I don't know what that sign means.
Euro.
A euro. 100 billion a year.
Yeah.
About 2/3 of its profit from commercial sexual exploitation.
Euro, that's obviously all different, like Spain and
So that's not just in the United Kingdom. That's all over the place.
Yeah,
over there,
not
then,
all
right?
Yeah. No, that's not just
Well, no, I'm asking you. I'm not sure how it works.
Let me just have a.
Yeah, not all of
300
Europe have switched over to the euro yet.
300 million pounds a year.
But my question is, how do you put a price on a human?
I don't. I
Well,
can't.
that's what it's
I
all
can't.
about, isn't it? People assume it's just about sex. It's not.
No, it's not. All kinds of perverted, fucking fucked up, disgusting, grotesque shit. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the movie Hostel, but if you watch the movie Hostel, like, that wasn't just somebody's fucked up imagination that came up with that storyline. Like, that shit really happens. These people will hire and will traffic anybody and buy anybody to do all kinds of fucked up shit too. It doesn't just fall in the lines of sexual always. So, like, there's legitimately clubs out there that get together, just like in the movie Hostel, that get together and pay to snuff people out, like, legitimately torture them and murder them and do whatever the fuck they want to them, and people don't question it. It's fucking crazy to me.
What I have a hard time with is the penalties, and I find it appalling. Because I looked up to see what the penalties were for human trafficking.
Fuck. Right? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
There's anywhere from a fine to a maximum prison term of 20 years in a federal prison. What is 20 years in a federal prison?
No, hang on.
Compared
To be fair, we have to point out a maximum of 20 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're going to get 20 years.
Some
Most of these fuckers just get a slap on the hand. Just so you know.
Some people get off with a fine, or they have to do community service.
Yep.
But again, at the maximum, what is 20 years compared to what a child or a young adult, male, female, it doesn't make a difference, being sexually exploited, being forced into labor, and that's another topic right there, switching it from manual labor to these people are used to produce more children. They're baby machines. They are used for body parts.
Yeah, they basically become like people back in the day, like they used to run puppy mills, you know what I mean? These human beings are being treated like fucking puppy mills.
Yes, and a lot of them are just like that, where they have cages stacked upon cages, and these people are put in cages, and they're only taken out when they're needed.
See, in this country,
I mean, if you're lucky, and I hate to say it this way, but if you're lucky, you're being sexually exploited. Go ahead, Sarah.
Sorry.
In this country, see, a lot of the grooming gangs, maybe 85% of them are Asian grooming gangs. That's what we've got a lot of problem with in this country. Most that are arrested for 84% are Asian grooming gangs in this country.
And approximately how many people are in your country? Like, you know, the population. I'm trying to get a comparison between the United States and where you're at, you know what I
mean? Which is actually really valuable, because what you just said, in comparison to different areas,
about 68 million.
68 million?
Maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure.
So let's just say 70 million. So there's like 370 million. So there's 300 million more citizens in the United States. So like that's $300 million just in the UK alone, spread out amongst 70 million citizens. That's a fucking lot, you guys. That's right up there. If you break it down and compare them to each other per capita, it's almost identical. There's just more trafficking here in the United States because we have more people here. That's it. But it comes out to be
But
an average of about the same.
look at how much easier it is in Europe to cross borders than it is in the United States,
Yeah.
where you could go switching from one country to another and that person is gone. It's a little bit more difficult, risky, a lot more maneuvering for us to get someone out of the United States in comparison to being in Europe and crossing those borders. And a lot of those are trafficked right through the lorries, or I should say, your big rigs and stuff. And you don't know. I mean, they try to stop them at the borders, but a lot of them get through.
I bet the figures are a lot higher, like in Asian countries, Pakistan and all, because they're the main people, like the grooming gangs. Like British white males, they usually tend to work alone and just groom a child. The Asian gangs are doing it in gangs.
I mean, there's countries that. Go ahead.
What? Okay. It matters. It matters. Just pointed out. She said, and it's happening every day in every neighborhood. Do you really know your neighbors? I mean, these are people that we allow our children to go around every single day because we live next to them. Like, do you really know your neighbors? The list just goes on and on and on and on who these people are that do this shit, man. Like in the United States, the top state actually isn't even a state. It's just the District of Columbia in human trafficking. The District of Columbia has more cases of human trafficking in it than any other state in the United States. Why is that? The District of Columbia.
I got different information. I got California as being the number one because out of the top 4, it's California, Texas, Florida, and New York.
Do you have Washington, D.C. on that list?
They're on there. They're on the list, but they're further down the list. But your top 4 that I found, which very well could have changed because, again, information is always coming in.
Yeah.
But I got 1.3K out of California. And
you're fine, babe. Gotta love that now. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Now they have the numbers to me low in comparison when they're talking about who is being trafficked. They're saying an estimate of 27% are children. And that goes up into the age of 12 is what they're still calling children.
Now remember, right. That goes, they don't start those statistics until they hit 12 years old. That's only between 12 and 18. So there's they keep statistics on 6 years of age, and there's 12 years of age behind it that's not documented for. That's why I say it doesn't matter what the numbers are, quadruple it. Play it safe, quadruple it. You could probably go up to you could probably multiply it by 7 or 8 easily, and that's probably more realistic number. But playing it safe, I say quadruple that number, and that's more realistically what it's like.
When I saw that number of 27%, it just went, no, there is just no way. No, that is way too low. It's not realistic. And yes, these are the most prevalent cases that they're showing. So yes, there's a lot of information because since every day more and more people go missing, and recently, because there is a major influx of people that have gone missing between the United States and Mexico.
Yeah. Back when I was like 14 years old, my aunt met this Hispanic guy straight from Mexico and brought him here and married him and whatever. And about 6 months later, He brought his brother here, and about 6 months after marrying my aunt, he took my cousin and my aunt to Mexico on a vacation, and we didn't see either one of them for almost 3 years. And the stories my cousin told me when she got back, that was what was really going on. Her and her mom were being trafficked, passed around Mexico like no fucking other, man.
And these are, when you think about that, there is so many areas that are basically non-existent to a lot of us, because there's so many different areas in Mexico that people, when you go on vacation, you don't go there. You don't know about these places.
Yeah. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer It Matters question real quick. She asked. Do you just let your children go spend the night with him because you know them from school or church? She said, when's the last time any of y'all been into your home? I think she meant their home. Actually, I haven't gone actually into the home, but I have met every single one of my kids' friends. If they're going to go spend the night, I do a background check on them. I go and look up their details. I don't just, that's what I do. That's what I do. But I hope other people do too. My kids think it's kind of weird, and I'm just saying, well, that's my job, is to keep you safe. It's not that I don't trust anybody. It's because I don't trust anybody.
Okay, so do you remember back in the day, though, you're all at school and you're all getting ready to go home, and it's like, all right, I'm going to go home with you, and I'll just call my mom from your house and let you know that we're having a sleepover because it's Friday.
Hey,
How
Rose.
many times without even thinking, you can't do that now. I mean, technically you shouldn't have done it then, but it was not brought out. It was not made prevalent. It wasn't a subject that was talked about. Anything that happened, parents didn't tell their children. It was all hush, hush. Oh, don't let the little ears hear. No, we need to let those little ears hear.
Oh, yeah.
And like I was telling Aaron earlier today, my grandson, he's on the computer doing his thing and everything. And he reminds, and he's 12, he reminds all of his friends that he's gaming with to keep your identity a secret. Don't give out your personal information. Don't talk about anybody in the house, names. Don't do street address. To me, that is the best way we can get this information out there, if our children will talk to other children. They don't always hear us. As an adult, it's like they hear, maybe 3 out of the 10 words you just said. But a child telling another child, the point gets across. That's what we need more of.
Team Rose just brought up a good point right here. She said, I'm going to go back and click her comments on here. I met all my friends. I met all the friends and their parents. Don't trust anybody. She says, I worked with all the parents to make sure we all kept an eye on our kids, because they are our kids. As soon as the parents got a bit lazy and stopped being so watchful, the kids immediately got into booze and whatever they could find in the house. She said I'm covered with grass from mowing. I thought she said glass. But what she's saying, I don't know where the comment went. Teenagers, I don't know where the comment went. But she said, she was basically saying, like I did it too. Like I met all my kids I've met all my kids as parents, all my kids as friends as parents, and I wanted to know if they had brothers and sisters, how old they were, because I mean, just because their daughter's cool or their son's cool don't mean they have a fucking hand. You know what I mean? Like they might have a 19, 20-year-old boy living in their home with my teenage daughter, and I just got to know these things, and that's the whole thing. You have to. It's not just your kid, it's our kids, man. Like my daughter's friends, I look at them like they're my kids. Like I've told them all before, look, you can come and talk to my wife or I about anything you need to. If something's going on, if you guys get drunk, no, I don't support or encourage you guys to get drunk. I'm not okay with that. But I would rather come and pick you up and keep you safe.
It's a reality.
Yes, exactly. You know what I mean? Like I would rather do that than pick you up off the road dead. So, and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter what it is. Like, just always stay in contact with the people you let your kids around, because some of them have nothing but ill-fated intentions for your children. It's a horrible, disgusting fact, and that's how it is. Which this all leads. Go ahead.
That's why it's also really important that, your children know that they are loved, they are appreciated, they are wanted, that you want them in the house, that you want to spend time with them, because these groomers are out there and they will make false promises. They, offer them that feeling of security, that trust that they're not getting possibly from mom or dad. If it's a sibling who is making them feel unwanted, and about it, oh, you're adopted, blah blah blah. Okay, it's a joke, but some children take that very deep to heart and feel, okay, I'm not wanted. They don't want me to be part of the family, and maybe one child is getting more attention than the other child, and that child is the vulnerable one.
Yeah.
And it takes a short amount of time. They don't groom over a year. They do this within less than a week.
Yeah. It don't take much. It don't take much.
They're getting right in there, and especially if it's online grooming, they're building that trust. Oh yeah, you're great at this and you're great at that. And they know how to slip in keywords. And the same thing, if your kids are over at so-and-so's house and they feel uncomfortable to say, hey dad, I don't know, I just got that weird feeling, or if your child suddenly doesn't want to go sleep over at someone's house, or doesn't want to go out around that person, or just playing with that person anymore because they're younger. These are red flags.
There's always signs. You just got to look out for. You just got to know what to look for.
What are some of those signs? What are some of those signs, Sarah? Do you know how to recognize them yourself? I put you on the spot.
You just know, don't you? You just that gut feeling. You just know.
Yes. You just
know.
Perfect.
It could be all. It could be all time. You just know. You can just tell. You just know something's wrong. You can just tell the behavior, certain things. You just know.
Yep. Exactly. Like, if you pay attention to your children, if you pay attention to your children's friends, and you get to know them, you will be able to tell it. Like last night, I'm not going to get too personal here, but I was taking a child of mine to a friend's house. They were having a bonfire or whatever, and this one particular friend that she was going with, they don't go to school together, but they're friends on the outside of school. And the last 2 weeks that I dropped my daughter off or whatever and picked these guys up from this bonfire that they go to, I just know how giddy and happy this girl usually is. And she's been offish this last 2 weeks. So me being the person I am,
Red flag.
Exactly. So last night, I mean, I didn't want to. I noticed something 2 weeks ago that there was something off with her, but I didn't want to really jump the gun and make her feel uncomfortable in case there wasn't, you know what I mean? I just want to do that. So I just kind of had to make sure that I was really feeling the way I was feeling. And I told her last night, I was like, because I've taken my daughter and her to her house. I was like, you know what, sweetheart? I was like, just so you know, it don't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what time of day or night it is. Like, I know my daughter talks to you about what I do on YouTube and what I'm trying to do. And I just want you to know that it don't matter what it is, whatever's going on in your life, you can call us. You don't have to call and talk to me. You can call and talk to my wife if you want. But that offer is there for you. So you know, I mean, I just wanted to let her, because I just knew, I know that something somewhere somehow is going it's going on. I'm not saying it's a sexual abuse or there's just something fucking going on with this girl that is out of the ordinary, because she completely had a role reversal of who she was. She went from this happy giddy kid to this muffled, quiet, stick to myself girl. You know what I mean? It's weird. So I mean, if you pay attention to who your kids' friends are, and you get to know them, you will know. There's no definitive, absolute one way to tell if your kids have been victimized or a kid that you know is being victimized. There's all different kinds of ways. All you got to do is just know them a little bit to understand and see that difference in them. And it's an instantaneous difference. It's an instantaneous difference. Like it's not something that will gradually just build up over a couple of weeks and okay, then you see. No, it's an instantaneous difference.
You can go to your local police department and you can become part of the Blue Campaign. And this is something that is an international law enforcement training. So they want people to find the resources to help your communities. And it's called the Blue Campaign, and it raises public awareness about the human trafficking. And they're trying to promote this more and more so you know how to recognize the signs. There's pamphlets that can go out. It's a very touchy subject right now on how to present it into schools. So they're still, gradually trying to bring more awareness into the schools because of how many teachers, so forth and so on, educators and that have been arrested for these crimes. And they may not be trafficking, but they're still involved in being abusive, from everything to mental to physical.
Right.
So there's something to look into.
Yeah, I've looked into that. Hang on a second.
Don't be afraid to go to a party.
Yeah, because I didn't know about the Blue Project, but I'm definitely going to look into it, and I got a couple ideas about what I want to do. But Sugar Glider, I am get to know, and I do not support that message. Okay, I don't. Right there, I'm not glad the snow is gone. So watch it.
I am. No snow.
I love the snow. I can't stand the heat. So, but I was talking to a friend a couple nights ago. Well, it's been a couple weeks ago that he caught one of my lives, and I've known him since elementary school and shit. And you know the natural ginger, Sarah.
That was fun.
But he's affiliated. He's not a teacher. He's in the schools though with kids, and he's like, we can't talk about that kind of stuff. And he asked me the question. He's like, how do you get information like that out to these children when you can't talk about it to these children? And I've come up with a way, and I want to the package project is kind of what I was kind of leaning towards, where we as get to know could get together and it could be a universal program to where we put a packet of information together about all these different kind of crimes like this for the parents, put them in sealed envelopes for the parents, so the parents know that it was sealed, the kids didn't get into it, and provide them with ways to communicate and talk about this kind of shit with their own kids. You know what I mean? Because I don't want some teacher teaching my kid about sexual awareness and sexual abuse. I don't. That's a parent's job. But we can do that. We can put packets together that aren't revealing and still teach people how to communicate with their children about this kind of stuff, because it's happening to 90% of the kids in this country, and it's fucked up, man.
See, when you say that about communication, that's part of the problem. Like over here, you got little toddlers sitting in pushchairs and they've got an iPad or a phone. They're on the internet to keep them quiet because parents don't want to deal with the crime, so they're handing it right to them.
Yeah. They are creating their child to be a victim. They are creating future victims.
That's why I'm saying you can in your community and reach outside your community. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You can go beyond your doorstep, beyond your school, besides your little area, and there might be low-income housing. These are people that are going to get targeted. They're the easy ones, the ones that are in foster care programs, the ones that are in shelters, the ones that are in group homes. You can't turn a blind eye to it, because you have to realize fine, you might live in a nice little neighborhood and, oh, you know, so and so next door and everything is great and wonderful. You have to look beyond yourself.
Yeah.
And it could be that little kid who you see out playing pretty much on the sidewalk all day long, all night long. And, you know, it's like, where's your parent?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the child who is going to disappear. That is
Yeah.
the child who is going to be the next.
The next
Don't be
target.
afraid to step in.
Yeah.
You know, if
Don't
you're
be
out
afraid.
someplace and
Don't be afraid
you
to
know,
hurt other. Don't be afraid to hurt people's feelings because you think something. Look. We're not perfect in any way, shape, or form. But if I have a feeling that something fucked up is going on to any child, I call that shit out. In my personal life, I asked the person the other day, just at the grocery store, this older lady, she might have been my age, she might have been a little bit older than me, but I seen her, she was behind me in the checkout stand. I seen her and I don't know, I turned away from her and I started putting stuff in the backpack so I could walk home and something just was eating at me and I turned around and looked at her and I said, "Ma'am, are you all right?" She's like, she's kind of looking at me like, "Mind your own fucking business." I said, "I'm not trying to be rude or creepy in any way, but when I first seen you come up and approach me, like I just felt like something, you know, you just needed somebody to say hi or something to you. So, like, I'm asking you, you know, are you all right? You want to talk to somebody about something? You know what I mean?" And she looks at me, she goes, "You know what? I'm not okay. I do have a lot of shit going on in my life, and you just saying that right there instantly made me in a better mood." So me putting myself out there to look like a jackass or whatever you want to call it, like I helped this lady, and I mean, she didn't open up to me about her story and whatever, but she's like, you know, she's like, that was really meaningful of you, and like, you know, we need more people like that in this country, in this world, and shit. And I just, you know, I don't know. That's just what I do. If I see something, I'll say something. If I think something, I'll say something. I don't give a fuck if you get. I don't give a fuck if it makes you mad or not. I mean, I'm just trying to be decent, you know. I mean, there needs to be more people out there that do that shit. That's just what I think.
but the other important thing that we have to discuss, we have to bring this up, is the universal hand signal. Does everybody know that? If you're out in public and somebody
Is everything all right, Penelope?
Busy with the kids.
Oh, I see. I see. So she was going to talk about international hand signals. Do you know about those, Deb or Sarah?
No.
There's certain hand signals that I'm going to look them up right now because I don't have them memorized. But there's certain hand signals that everybody should know in case, like, you know, like if you see somebody out in public and they do one hand signal, like you'll know that they've been kidnapped or
Yeah.
whatever. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I believe that's what she was going with. So.
Sorry about that, guys.
You're all right.
Had a
You're
little
all right.
dog issue.
Uh-oh, everything all right?
One of my dogs got hooked on the other dog. Yeah. They were wrestling and he grabbed his collar and his tooth got wrapped around his collar. So
Oh shit.
grandkids came in and were like, "Oh my God, he's hooked, he's hooked, he's hooked." Yeah, he's a little panicky, so I'm just trying to calm him down. The trials and tribulations of life.
These hand signals, Penelope.
Yeah, very, very important, you know, and it's a universal signal. And if you are out in public somewhere and you see somebody they take their hand and they tuck them under and they fold their fingers over, that is a universal sign that they need help.
Like this?
So your hand is straight up. Put your hand straight up. Okay, tuck your thumb in. Put your thumb to your palm. Fold your fingers over top. Fold them over. There you go. Universal signal that
And what does
someone
that
needs
mean?
help. They are in a dangerous situation. They need help. They could be
You just need
being
help.
kidnapped. They could be held hostage. Right. So sometimes they'll put their fingers up and down over that thumb, like they'll move it a little bit. It's a universal signal. And if you see that, yes, if you see that, pay attention, because it could be somebody could be standing in an elevator, somebody could be standing in a restaurant, you could be anywhere, because they can't verbally say, hey, I got a problem. If someone is trying to get your attention by next to you or kind of being annoying, check around you to see if that person from leaving. A little kid, trying to get away from an abusive or whatever, that is a very important sign, and it's something that really a lot of people have been saved.
Yeah, I seen a video the other day that this I don't know, this couple was like, they were in the mall and they seen this guy with this younger girl, and um I don't know, they were just recording people in the mall and shit, and like the girl literally every time the guy would look away, she'd go like that with her hand, you know. I mean, I didn't see exactly what
Yep.
she was doing, but you know, but this couple seen him and they're like, okay, let's do something about this. And they went down, they ran a diversion on this guy and got him to look away for a minute. And the boyfriend came up behind him and just grabbed this girl and just took off with her. It was like, let's go, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and there's actually groups out there that kind of know what's going on, just like that couple intervened to help that woman get away. And there are signs that you can look for. If you're in let's say you're in Walmart and somebody keeps somebody really close to them. I mean, really close to them. And that person that they're keeping really close to their body, you can kind of tell, this is not, I don't want this person to be this close to me. Something is wrong. They can't verbally tell you. They may not even be able to give you the hand signal.
yeah, you can
Body
fucking
language.
go ahead. Yeah, body language, exactly, Sarah. Body language.
Yes.
Like if you pay
Don't
attention
be
to your
afraid.
surroundings, yeah, if you pay attention to your surroundings and you know how people are, and generally, I mean, I love my wife. I love my wife, but I don't keep her right next to my side when we go anywhere. You know what I mean? I probably should sometimes, just for personal reasons. Like I can get out of hand and things can get a little weird, and people are looking at me like, "What the fuck?" But that's just me. You know what I mean? So that's how I deal with my shit. But I don't keep her right close to me like a prisoner. You can, if you know how people are in general, you can tell if somebody's in a shitty situation, in a situation that is making them uncomfortable and is not okay. You can just fucking tell by observing, just by looking around you, man. The signs are out there. People should be able to notice when somebody is not feeling like they're comfortable in a situation. I mean, it's easy, but we're all too afraid to fucking hurt somebody's feelings or make somebody mad or piss somebody off. And I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. If you get mad at me for trying to keep somebody safe or saying something when I don't feel comfortable about something going on around me, I really, at the end of the day, I sleep just fine. So I really don't care if you get mad at me or not. So.
And it matters. I did actually make a video and I put it on my channel earlier. And it has to do with human trafficking, and it has the hand signal in there, and it has the phone number, the hotline. And that hotline is 888-373-7888. You can either
888-373-8888.
you can talk to a person, you can text message with them, you could any which way that you can get a hold of them. They have websites if you are unable to actually communicate with somebody because somebody is listening, which I hope we all paid attention to those videos that have been out, to ordering a pizza to let you know that you're in a situation that you can't get out of.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
That's another thing that we should be teaching our kids.
Yeah.
If you're being held hostage and you can call for a pizza, you're no, you're ordering a pizza through 911. Guess what? They know.
Oh yeah.
You are in a situation that you need out. So there's information out there, but are we paying attention? In a whole, are we talking to our children? Are we as paying attention to the neighbor's child, to that little kid wandering around the street, to our kids' friends like you were talking about? Somebody else may not see it or want to see it because we are a society of putting blinders on.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. For sure. And it's sad that we have come to this. It's sad that we have come to this point in time, that we live our lives based around not wanting to hurt somebody's feelings or offend somebody, or you know what? Maybe these words wouldn't be so offensive if we fucking used them. There's an idea. I'm just saying. I mean,
well, that's just it. Don't be afraid to open your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, we have been shut down as a society. We have been closed off. We've allowed ourselves to be put in that corner that, oh, don't hurt someone's feelings. Don't butt into someone else's business. Don't. Hey, you know what? I'm looking over the fence, and you know what? I don't like what you're doing.
Right.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Somebody's going to say something I don't want to hear. Probably. You know, exactly. And it's the same thing we should be teaching our kids. Don't be afraid to open up and say what's there, because you know what? How long have kids been told, be seen and not heard? No more. I want to see you. I want to hear you. I want to know everything that's going on with you. Take that few minutes out of your day and go, so what happened in school today? Or what you do today? Or did you meet anybody new online? It could be a subtle, very subtle statement to get the child to start talking.
Yeah.
And you should be able to tell if that child is a little off put on that question.
Yeah.
Make a new friend?
Like one of the things I do with my kids still, like I said, my son's damn near 17, my daughter's almost 15, and to this day, I'll take him, I will ask him that uncomfortable question at a time that is really uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because just by their reaction, you can tell if something's going on. I'll tell them, hey, is anybody fucking touching you, or anybody fucking around with you? You know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, come on, Dad. Or if they're like, no. I mean, there's a difference. You can tell when somebody's fucking around with your kids just by if they get startled by that question, oh my God, how did you know? Kind of look on their face, or why would you ask me that? You can just tell. That's what I do with my kids.
Always follow your gut instinct.
Yes, absolutely.
It ain't never usually wrong.
Yep, exactly.
Same thing with them in school. If your teachers are a little too friendly, if your kid comes home and has your teacher's home phone number, you better ask why.
My kid comes home and has their teacher's home phone number. Guess who's calling that teacher from their phone at their home? This fucking guy. And trust me, you're going to change your fucking number by the time I'm done. My child.
Oh, no, I'll be doing a reverse phone number lookup going, where do you live?
What's that? Sorry.
Pulling that up, doing reverse phone number search, getting an address going, hi, I think you misplaced this phone number.
Come and knock on your door. That's
But
how we do it for
those are
you.
things
Yep.
that people don't think about. Yeah, seriously. Those are
Yeah,
things that people don't
absolutely.
Name
think
and
about,
shame.
though, because these people,
Well-
they know how to bring them in and make you feel safe. And what are we also always taught? We respect our elders. We don't talk out against them. Well, if Mr. and Mrs. Creepy makes you feel that way, and the little hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up, or that teacher is hovering over your desk a little too much, no.
Yeah.
Something is really wrong there.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Sarah?
And that goes for your.
It's not just teachers, though, is it? Police officers, doctors.
Yep.
Yep. Some of you might remember.
Grannies, granddads.
Yep. Grannies, grandpas, stepbrothers, stepsisters, stepdads, stepmoms, aunties, uncles, nieces, nephews, all of them. Church members, good point, babe. Church members, scout leaders, Girl Scout leaders, they're all deviant. There's a deviant person in every fucking category, in every group. And these are people that we teach our kids. We instill it in our kids to have respect for them. And yes, when there's trouble, you can go to these guys and trust them. Like I covered part of the case, or read about a case the other day, that a 62-year-old pediatrician. Come on now. We just send our children off into their offices, and I mean, like for
No,
years.
I still go with my kids.
So do I.
They don't go
So
alone.
do I. Oh yeah. But did you know once your child hits the age of 14, they do not even legally have to. You're like, if they wanted to go behind your back and talk to their doctor, that doctor doesn't have to tell you that they had a conversation with your child. Did you know that?
What at 14?
At 14 fucking years old. My daughter had my doctor at a doctor's appointment about 5 months ago. And the question about sex came up, and he could see that my daughter was uncomfortable about it, but for the different reason. She was uncomfortable because she didn't want to talk to her doctor about sex. No, my 14-year-old daughter is not sexually active at all. But he's like, is this something you don't want to talk about in front of your dad? She's like, not really. And he goes, well, just so you know, I can tell him to leave the room if there's something you want to talk about, and he legally has to leave the room. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, there's nothing you can do about it. He said, your daughter could come in here and ask for a pregnancy test and take a pregnancy test on her own accord and whatever. And by law, I can't tell you. Even if you ask, I can't tell you. That's up to your daughter to tell you. I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know what I mean? Got to think about things, man. Ask questions. It's fucking crazy. 100%. My whole face hit the fucking floor. I said, wham! Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck?
See, but there again reverts back, and sex is not an uncomfortable subject, because it shouldn't be. They should not, male or female, should not be afraid of discussing anything, especially with a parent.
Yeah.
There's another red flag. If they feel so insecure to talk to you about something, there's a red flag, because that means somebody is telling them to be quiet.
Definitely.
Yep. See, I'm glad you said that. That brings up another good point for me. Like I don't want to say we teach our children the secrets. Like, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a positive secret. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if I tell Penelope, hey, keep this a secret between you and me, it's because I don't want anybody else to find out about whatever it is I'm going to say, whether it's positive or negative. Correct? So there's no such thing as you can't. Like, I told my kids, it doesn't matter. If somebody tells you this is a secret between you and me, the first thing you do is go tell somebody. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully your parents. Like, I don't keep secrets from my kids. I've taught my kids not to accept secrets. Like, if somebody comes up to me and says, here, I don't take it. I don't. Oh, because I will be telling somebody, like, I don't keep that shit. You know what I mean? Because it's negative. There's
See, and
nothing.
that's a really valid thing to, especially with kids, because secrets are the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if a child is confiding in another child, especially anything to do with any type of abuse,
Right.
you know, it doesn't have to be sexual, it can be physical. They should come to a parent and go, okay, my friend Sally over here is being, you know, beat up, would be a child's words. Okay, so what do you mean they're being punished, or, you know, what are you talking about? Because
Right.
again, that means you're going to have to take a few minutes and dissect that conversation to bring it down to what a child considers abuse. Oh, I'm abused because they took away my internet for 2 days. No, that's
Yeah.
not abuse, hon.
That's a punishment. There's a difference.
You know, exactly. You know, and if the little Sally is saying, well, long sleeves and it's 90 degrees out because I have a bruise.
Yeah. I mean, if you see somebody
You
out in the
just
middle,
gotta know what to look for.
yeah, exactly, Sarah. You just got to know what to look for. Like me, I'm driving down the road, right? I'm in the middle. I'm in. Let's pick a city. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay, I'm cruising down the strip, and everybody. It's the middle of July, 1st of August, hottest part time of the fucking year, and I see everybody in t-shirts and shorts, and everybody with water bottle. You know what I mean? But I see that one person that's wearing a fucking sweater with fucking sweatpants on. I'm gonna stop and ask, hey, are you okay? You know why? Because that's like a Where's Waldo thing. You know what I mean? Like, this really sticks out to me as something wrong, because normal people who are doing good and fine are not wearing sweaters when it's 125 fucking degrees outside in the middle of the fucking desert. They just don't do it. You don't. There's something going on with them. So, you know what I mean? I mean, it's the signs are out there in front of us all the time. We just have to know how to see them. Just know people.
Something that's very subtle, though, that a lot of us don't pick up on is the same response. It's like a rehearsed saying that no matter what you ask, it's always the same response. There should be a little question behind that.
Yeah.
Because if you're talking to the person, you can physically see them, you know, looking at their eyes, and what's coming out are two different things.
Yeah.
Dig a little deeper, you know, and if you're still getting that same rehearsed response, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And it may not be a major
Absolutely.
thing. It could be something very subtle. But if it's always that same rehearsed response, pay attention. If it's your child, if it's your neighbor, we're not even talking about just children, but if it's that same response and you know that something is not right, and you'll get that feeling, listen to yourself, trust yourself enough, be nosy, try.
Yeah, by all means,
And
be nosy. Like, that's
and
what I do with my kids. I'm nosy with my children.
And even if you're wrong, does it matter?
Right? What harm was there? So what? I was being nosy. I was wrong. I'm glad you're okay. Where's the fucking harm in that? Where's the harm in it? There's not any.
We're so afraid of overstepping the imaginary bounds and saying something that somebody is going to take the wrong way. Well, that one person that you say that one thing to, you might be saving them. They could be in a horrible situation and you can see it. And if you don't know what to do, go to the authorities and report it. If it is something beyond what you can do, don't try to fix it yourself. If there is so much there that you are that concerned, go to the proper authorities. Contact someone and do a welfare check. What's the worst that's going to happen? Somebody's going to get mad at you.
Well, if they're doing nothing wrong, they've got nothing to worry about, have they?
Exactly. They're going to open up the front door and say, come on in, let me get you some coffee. What's going on? You know, you could be saving a man, a woman, a child. You don't know. And never think that men are not abused, because they are. Men are in abusive relationships also.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, just because
They-
the numbers are real low, don't mean we're not getting abused. I mean,
That's just
I don't like to use it. We're just groomed to not talk about it because we're men. You know, we don't talk about it. You know, we're men. We don't need to be. Fuck all that shit.
And those
Yeah.
same signs are there as they are for women as they are in men. If that man is afraid to open his mouth because he's next to this woman, whether it be his wife, his girlfriend, whoever it may be, whatever it is, start putting those little red flags together. Start paying a little bit more attention, because there's more than just physical abuse. There's mental abuse.
Oh yeah.
Again, step in. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Even if nothing.
Abused,
go ahead.
if he's being abused, he's going to let subtle signs slip because he sees that you're picking up on it.
Yep. Even if you're wrong, like Sarah said, even if you're wrong and nothing's going on, what's the big deal? Where's the harm in that? Where's the harm in
Better be
that?
safe than sorry.
What's the worst thing that somebody's going to do?
Yeah, you're gonna make somebody upset for a minute, and you're being
right.
nosy. Sorry, I'm over it.
I mean, literally. I mean, so cop comes knocking on your front door. You haven't done nothing wrong. What are you worried about? Got a guilty conscience? Whatever. Hey, we're here to check on the kids. Okay, here. There they are.
I'm not so much. I can't say that I and that's why I like about being here, whatever. I know that we can have discussions about shit that we're gonna run into shit that we don't see eye to eye on, and I am right there with you on a complete opposite side of the spectrum on that, Penelope. Like, if somebody comes here and asks to see my kids and I know they're okay, I'm still not just willing to show you my kids. And the reason why is because I know my kids are okay, and I know how people are. And like, I won't. Like, you better serve me you better give me a warrant. You better have an actual valid motherfucking reason. And even if I give you the pleasure and privilege to see my kids, you're not going to sit there and talk to my kids. You're not going to sit there. I mean, I don't hide shit. I don't have anything to hide. My kids are not beat. They are not neglected. They are not abused, nor is my wife. And there's no reason why somebody to come knocking on my door saying, we got a phone call to check on your kids. No, fuck. I won't. Like, you're going to have a fight on your hands. I've stood toe to toe with CPS.
You are right on that. You are right on that aspect, because anything can be turned. And that's why they always tell you, if you get arrested for anything and you're sitting in the police station, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Even if you're completely innocent, don't say anything. Because you could even say hi and, oh, that's it, you're guilty. It's so, yeah, even if there's absolutely nothing wrong, it can be flipped back on you depending on who's got a hair up their butt.
Right.
See, but I'm always to the, hey, come on in, I don't care.
Right. And see, and like I said, I'm on the opposite side of the fence there, I mean, like, it's not my responsibility to prove to anybody that my kids are okay. It's not my responsibility to prove to anybody that there's not kind of any illegal activity going on. It's their responsibility to show me proof that they have reason, that there is. Like, you better show me, like, you better prove, you're going to come to me and prove to me that there is, then I'll bring you my kids to show you that there's not. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to fuck all that. You're not going to get me to just show you my kids because you want to, oh, I'm CPS. Get the fuck off my porch is my first reply to him. Like, get the fuck out. You ain't here to help me in any way, shape, or form, or help my kids in any way, shape, or form. I know how CPS is. Almost 57,000 children a year go missing and are never seen again from CPS custody, and 57,000 children a year are come up missing and never seen again from CPS custody. Get the fuck off my porch. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, very valid point. That's a way that I really, honestly, I don't look at a lot of things. You know, you try to look at things from both sides of it, but
Right.
that is true. You know, they could, oh, your kid's got a scratch on their arm. Yeah, well, we got 15 cats. What do you think?
Yeah, right.
You know,
Well,
it's
my son slipped and fell because he's a fucking putz, and he got to scrape his elbow. It doesn't mean I fucking took him out behind the barn and whooped his fucking ass. Like, there's a difference. Come on, guys. People have accidents and shit, but yeah, you're not just gonna get me to fucking. Of course, I am that person that when I get pulled over, I won't say shit. Like when I get pulled over, I don't say shit to the cops. I won't. Like I don't answer questions. So why do you keep asking me these fucking questions? Like I'll turn a 5-minute fucking pullover deal into a 3-hour event, and I don't give a fuck. Like you pulled me over for this reason. That's what we're handling. If we want to get off track, I'm shutting down. You ain't just gonna fucking come and bully me around to show you whatever. To let you in my car for what? Because you think you smell weed? No, you know that's all you got to say. If you search my car, motherfucker, guess what? You don't find no motherfucking drugs. Guess what? I'm definitely suing your motherfucking ass. You better pray to God you find drugs in my car if you're gonna. And I'm the same way with my house. Like. I don't care. I don't care. I have been violated too many times by the police and by CPS. I mean, my kids have never been taken. Thank God. My sister has before we got them back. But it's a battle, and I don't just give into that shit. I won't. And like, I'm sorry if that pisses anybody off, but I'll tell CPS.
Oh no, it is a valid side of that because yeah, there is the opposite end of that where you don't have good law enforcement. And they will plant and they will alter events and they'll turn off their cameras and everything else when they're doing things. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. But like my granddaughter comes home from school and oh my Lord God, all through elementary school, the kid looked like she was in a boxing match all the time. She'd have a bruise on her arm, a bruise on her finger, whatever. Tetherball. The girl is totally uncoordinated when it comes to tetherball.
Yeah.
So I would pick her up from school and she would be telling me this story of, you know, how her and the tetherball got into a fight. The tetherball won. And I would just laugh because I know what she's talking about. Now, somebody comes to my house and sees that, you know, she's got a Band-Aid on her finger, or she's got a bruise on her arm or something. And she says, well, I got into a fight with the tetherball at school. That sounds so ridiculous.
Right.
But it's the truth. And it would turn into this great big issue where they would go over to school, verify the information, because normally I would get the phone call, you know, from the school going, oh yeah, so again, you know, I think we're going to ban her from tetherball altogether, but you know, she insists on playing it. And I get that phone call. There's normal things that are going to happen to kids.
Yeah.
But yes, they can flip it. And, you know, your kids could be doing whatever and have a scraped knee, a bruise, a bump from riding a bicycle, roller skates, whatever, and end up losing your kids. So I do see your side of it.
Yeah.
Well, my grandson's got a Mongolian blue spot. Don't know if you know what that is.
A Mongolian what?
Blue spot.
Mongolian
it's like
blue spot.
Yeah, it's a permanent, like, the bottom of it, but it just looks like a bruise.
Like a bruise? Okay.
Yeah. And the school reported my daughter, obviously, because they thought it were. Yeah. Obviously, it's on his medical records. He was born with it.
Right. Obviously, this is a condition that never goes away.
Yeah.
And your grandson's probably at least like 5, 6, 7 years old, up to
5,
a little bit older.
5.
Yeah. So he's had this spot in the same spot for 5 years.
So instead of asking like what it is,
They just call CPS.
For an
Amazing. Kind of weird, huh? I just don't like, and if you look into what
you have medical records, but the fact that you have medical records, and the fact that you can prove that this is not any sort of abuse, but you have to go through the whole circus act, instead of asking a simple question.
Yeah. Like it seems like to me that would be something that would be on his permanent record. So when they open his file, they can see, you know, it's a birthmark. It's an oddly colored birthmark.
I've read a few stories where a lot of parents have obviously been accused the same thing. But yeah, it just looks like a bruise.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like how long was your kid, like how long was it that your grandchild was in class until the teachers noticed it and they called CPS? Like, was it the first day of school? Was it a week? Was it a month? You know what I mean? How long do these teachers already have interaction with this child before they try to interact with CPS?
Maybe 6 months.
Oh wow. That makes me a
Well,
little
they're
nervous.
right on top.
Fucking tell me. I was gonna say fuck. Like, are you like, oh shit. I was thought you were gonna say like a month or two, but fucking 6 months? Like, there's a question for me. Like, are you guys really paying attention to what the fuck's going on around you? These teachers and shit? Like, come on now. That's fuck. Wow.
I mean, I can understand if people think there's something wrong in this. We're saying if you see something, say it. So it's a bit of an odd one. You try, like, I suppose they've got to report something if they see it. But
Yeah.
it's the way they do it. Why not talk to the parents first and then ring CPS after if you still got them worries?
Yeah. Like if that child comes
Well,
to
that's
school,
another thing right
with
there.
another spot on them and shit, like then maybe raise a question. But if this child's had this thing, like where did you say it was at? Where was this spot at? Like, is it easily seeable from being closed or what?
Yeah, obviously they've only noticed it obviously when he's changed for PE.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's not in that obvious of a spot. Okay.
No.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a little bit more understandable, but still, I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like,
But instead of jumping on the phone,
yeah.
why not ask questions first? You can still ring them after, but
Yeah.
don't hurt to find out the facts
Exactly.
before you throw somebody under the bus.
Right.
And
Yep.
that's a good point because right there, if let's say it's your neighbor and you're noticing that the kids they don't have winter jackets, they don't have summer shorts, they're not dressed appropriately. Take 2 seconds and find out, maybe it's a financial issue.
Yeah.
Maybe they just need some help.
Yeah.
Maybe mom is overwhelmed and, if she's got more than 1 or 2 kids and it's overwhelming in the house and these kids are not getting dressed or anything like that, you can always just offer to help, being kind. It also kind of gets your foot in the door to see if there's anything else going on.
That's
Right.
what I mean. Some of these parents might have mental health issues and obviously need help themselves.
Right.
I am the mental health
So
issue.
taking
No, do you know what I mean? They might be
but that's
struggling
just it. I mean,
themselves and
Oh yeah. Oh
obviously
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I know what you mean.
and they just might need that little outstretched hand. So, yes, it kind of, you're aware of the situation, but as somebody on the outside, you can also, without making a big to do out of it, make those subtle questions. And if it is just something so simple that this person needs a little extra help, that there is no abuse going on or anything like that, you could stop that child from being groomed by someone by offering the family some help.
Yep. Absolutely. And just remember that a lot of times these people that do need that kind of help, they're not exactly used to people offering that kind of help. So they can be kind of offish and put offish, if you follow what I'm saying. Like, maybe they just had bad experiences with people offering to help in the past, but you know what I mean?
some people are
But
supposed
those
to
are
just embarrassed.
Yep, there you go. Some people just be
Exactly.
embarrassed.
But those are the children that are going to get through. Those
Yeah,
are the
absolutely.
children that are going to disappear. Those are the children that they're going after. So it's not just about, saying, oh, look, you're abusing your child. Well, take an extra step. You've already crossed the line already because you're already into somebody else's business. And once you're even deeper in there, if it is abuse, report it. But if it's a matter of someone just needing a little extra help, it could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be who knows what's going on, physical difficulties and stuff. A lot of times these families get into these situations and they push their kids into the hands of these groomers.
Yeah, absolutely. 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 All right, ladies. We're coming up on an hour and a half. I gotta eat something. I'm gonna end this here in just a minute, but I appreciate both of you being here, coming up on panel and discussing this. I know these are not really easy subjects and to cover and talk about. Nobody really wants to talk about them, but I'm glad we are. I think the more that we talk about these kind of subjects, the more we combat these actions happening by spreading awareness and just letting people know that there are people out here who care, and we're trying to make a difference in the world. But you know, we are being hit with a lot of fucking resistance lately, and it's driving me fucking crazy. But I'm still not going to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm just letting y'all know.
Take your blinders off, everybody. Take your blinders off.
Yeah,
Be aware. Look for subtle differences,
absolutely,
and don't be afraid to open your mouth.
absolutely.
You could be the person who saves one child, and that's one child too many if that child's not saved.
Exactly. One child is one too many, man. Sarah, is there any kind of closing statement you'd like to make before we go tonight?
Just
Kind of
keep your
final
eyes
thought?
open. Follow that gut instinct.
That's great advice for sure.
Pay more attention to your children. Spend more time with them instead of handing them a phone or a laptop or an iPad just to keep them occupied because you can't be bothered.
Because you're paying too much attention to what's going on the YouTube streets.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know, Penelope, how about you, sweetheart?
Yeah, maybe
any final
certain
thought you'd
people
like to add?
should look in their own backyard. You know, right there, certain people should look in their own backyard and turn off their damn internet and pay attention on their own world instead of jumping into everybody else's where it doesn't belong. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. And too many people out there on YouTube are doing it the wrong way.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Sorry. All right, ladies, I'm gonna kick both of you off here.
Let's
I love you guys.
battle.
I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna kick you down and give you my final thought here in a minute. But I'll be in contact. Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
Okay. Have a good night, sweetheart. Oh, for you, Sarah, there was one.
I'm out. Love you. Thanks for having
You
Yep.
wait. You wait.
Bring it on, girl. Bring it on, girl. I ain't scared.
Anytime.
Later. Okay. Bye, sweetie. All right. My final thought, kind of, not stealing Jerry Springer thing, but I always thought that was the best part of his show myself. But I couldn't have said it better myself. Keep your eyes open. Always trust your gut instinct. If you see something, say something. If you suspect something, ask questions and then react to those answers that you get. Before you want to go slinging shit, look in your own fucking backyard. Before you go slinging shit, look in your own backyard. Fly through the chat real quick. Sunshine Moonbeams, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. You know that. It matters. Thank you, sweetie, for being here. It really means the world to me. Personally, Team Rose, it's always a pleasure having you here, and you fucking know that. Hell, give me a hell yeah for Team Rose. I'm just saying. All children are safe, happy, and healthy on this planet, and we object to bullshit. Team Rose, there you go. Little shout out. Teresa, thank you for being here as well. I appreciate it very much. Sugar Glider, I fucking love you, baby. I fucking love you, babe. Thank you for being my number one supporter, my biggest fucking fan, and my everything. I love you. So I know you fucking better. I love myself. I'd like to give a shout out to myself. Thank you for being here, self. You're really important to this channel. Without this channel, without you, this channel wouldn't exist. So thank you for being here, self. I really appreciate it. Holding shit together. I think we hit up to 8 people watching from the pig pen tonight. Hey, don't be afraid. It's okay to leave the pig pen. come up and chat, say hello, get to know people, get to know what it's about, get to know what life's like on the outside of the pig pen. Please like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I don't really care because it all helps my algorithm. This is Get to Know. Thank you for being here. I love each and every one of you in this community. I definitely have the best community on YouTube and around the YouTube streets. You can take that to the bank for sure. Don't take it to mine because I don't go to the bank. I'm too poor for having a bank, so don't take it to my bank because it ain't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, take it to your bank. Maybe they can cash that check, but it's a guarantee. Seems I missed anybody. I didn't, but yeah, I think this was a great live. Again, I thank you for being here. And Opus Angel, here we'll go out with this up on screen. Bam! Remember that. If you know anybody who is being trafficked or suspect human trafficking going on in your neighborhood, don't be afraid to call 888-373-7888. 888-373-7888 for the human trafficking hotline. They will get you in contact with somebody who can help. This is Get to Know. Thank you for being here. And remember, one child is one too many. And please tell your friends about me because they're going to want to know. Thanks, everybody.